Something sinister is happening to P. Diddy in prison. He doesn't want to see friends, refuses family visits. Lawyers? Don't even think. But there is a mysterious person he makes a point of finding, and this person is not anyone. After his arrest, Diddy started to insist on secret meetings with an enigmatic visitor, someone who makes him tense, scared, and increasingly desperate. But who is this person? What is being discussed in these meetings that no one can know? Some sources say he is trying to save his own skin. Others believe he is being threatened. But there are those who say this visit is not an ally, but a warning that the worst is yet to come. The truth behind these visits can change everything we know about P. Diddy, and perhaps even the industry he has always been part. Get ready, because what we will reveal now is even darker than you think. Watch until the end, because this story is far from just an arrest. In recent months, P. Diddy's life has undergone an unexpected and catastrophic turn. The hip-hop tycoon, once untouchable and admired, saw his empire collapse before the public's eyes. His arrest shocked both the music industry and his fans, who until then did not imagine the severity of the accusations that hovered over him. Diddy's fall began with discreet investigations, but each new discovery only increased the complexity and seriousness of the case. Sources indicate that federal agents have been monitoring their activities for years, gathering enough evidence to finally act. When authorities invaded their properties, the scenario found suggested something far beyond simple financial irregularities or contractual disputes. Leaked images showed police officers collecting documents, electronics, and other items that could contain disturbing secrets. Reports indicate that Diddy's behavior in the moments preceding his arrest was of total denial, as if he believed he was above the law. However, as the situation unfolded, its expression changed, from arrogance to a mixture of shock and apprehension. What exactly did the authorities find on their properties? Who else is involved? These questions began to quickly circulate in the media and social networks, feeding theories about the true reasons behind the detention. But for those who followed their trajectory behind the scenes of the industry, this prison seemed to be just the tip of the iceberg. Now locked and without the absolute control he has always had about his narrative, Diddy seems to be more concerned with something, or someone, than his own legal defense. And that's where the mysterious figure comes in that he insists on repeatedly seeing in prison. Since it was placed behind bars, P. Diddy has not acted like any common prisoner. Unlike other celebrities trying to maintain a discreet stance while dealing with the judicial system, he has drawn attention within the prison, not just for his famous name. Reports from sources near the penitentiary indicate that Diddy demonstrates anxious and obsessive behavior regarding specific visits. While some former business partners and even family members tried to contact, many of these meetings were refused by Diddy himself. He doesn't want to talk to anyone. However, there is a single person he insists on finding repeatedly, someone who is not part of their intimate circle, whose identity raises even more suspicion. Guards and employees report that these visits happen extremely reserved and always make Diddy visibly tense and restless. More than a simple friend or lawyer, this mysterious figure seems to have a crucial importance to him. But why? What is being discussed in these secret meetings? And more importantly, what Diddy fears so much within the prison? Some believe he may be trying to make agreements to secure his safety, while others suggest that he is trying to erase traces before it is too late. But what has really attracted attention is the fact that after each visit, Diddy doesn't come back with a relieved stance. On the contrary, he leaves these meetings looking even more concerned. After all, who is this person that Diddy needs to see at all costs? And what can this relationship reveal about the obscure secrets of the hip-hop tycoon? As visits become more frequent, an inevitable question begins to circulate. Who is this person who P. Diddy insists on seeing repeatedly? What is known so far is that this visitor is not part of his family. He is not a lawyer and a close friend who has been publicly associated with him in recent years. This means that it is someone outside the media radar and official visiting records. A figure wrapped in mystery, whose presence raises more questions than answers. Internal reports suggest that this person always comes with an unusual level of confidentiality, avoiding any exposure. Unlike lawyers or acquaintances who usually make monitored and registered visits, This individual has access that seems different, almost as if he had some kind of influence within the penitentiary system. Some sources speculate that this figure may be someone linked to Diddy's dark past, someone who now charges something that has been promised, or who wants to ensure that certain secrets do not leave prison. Other theories suggest that this visitor may be associated with powerful groups that have always operated behind the scenes of the music industry and entertainment. If this is true, Diddy may not just be a magnate fallen in disgrace, but a piece within a much larger game than himself. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the fact that even with all its connections and fortune, Diddy seems to be under the mastery of that person. He is not trying to avoid these visits. On the contrary, he wants to see her at all costs. But why? What does this person know that is so important to Diddy? And more importantly, would this visit an ally or a threat? To understand who this mysterious figure can be, it is essential to go back in time and analyze P. Diddy's history behind the scenes of the music industry. Since the beginning of his career, Diddy has been surrounded by rumors and controversies. His meteoric rise did not come without sacrifices, and many believe that he has always had hidden allies behind the scenes, helping to pave his way to the top. For years, there has been speculation about his involvement with dark figures from Hollywood, hip-hop, and even secret organizations. What were once just rumors now begins to gain more weight, especially considering what has been happening in prison. If this mysterious visitor is someone of your past, then Diddy may be owing something to people who do not accept a no in response. Several reports suggest that the tycoon has always been involved in unusual practices and rituals, something that many point out as a pattern among the giants of the entertainment industry. Was this person a hidden mentor, someone who guided him on unknown paths in exchange for favors? Or maybe someone who has protected Diddy of consequences for years, and who now requires payment? It is no secret that big names in hip-hop had their moments of glory, followed by tragedies and scandals that seem strangely connected. Diddy himself has already been associated with tragic events, such as the death of the notorious B.I.G. and strange twists within his label. Now in prison, he no longer seems to be the powerful man who controlled everything around him. On the contrary, it seems to be someone who desperately needs the approval of this mysterious visitor. But the big question is, Diddy is asking for help, trying to save himself, or simply complying with orders he can't refuse. If there is anything that has drawn attention within prison, it is the content of conversations between P. Diddy and his mysterious visitor. Despite the high level of confidentiality, some information began to leak, and they indicate that these meetings are not simple casual encounters. Penitentiary employees report that Diddy always leaves these visits shaken, anxious, and even sweating cold. Something in these conversations clearly makes him uncomfortable. Unlike meetings with lawyers, where defense strategies are discussed, these visits seem to involve something much more personal and perhaps much more dangerous. There are speculation that the tycoon may be being pressured or blackmailed. But blackmailed with what? What could this person know that makes Diddy act this way? A theory suggests that this visitor is there to ensure that certain information is never revealed. With Diddy now vulnerable and without his protection net, there may be secrets that he can be forced to reveal to reduce his sentence, and this may be bothering powerful people. Another possibility is that Diddy is negotiating his own security within the prison. After all, the prison system is a brutal environment, where ex-millionaires and celebrities can become easy targets. If this visitor is someone with influence within this underworld, he may be dictating rules that Diddy needs to follow to stay alive. But what is most intrigued is that these conversations do not seem to give Diddy relief. On the contrary, with each meeting, it comes out looking more pressured and unstable. After all, what is at stake in these meetings? Diddy is trying to save or be warned that even in prison, he still belongs to something much larger and more dangerous than any court sentence. With every visit of this mysterious individual, one thing becomes evident. P. Diddy is not in control of his own situation. If before he was the influential tycoon who dictated the rules within the industry, now it seems to be just a piece in a much larger game. The fact that he insists on seeing this person repeatedly, even though he is visibly shaken by these meetings, suggests that he is trying to avoid something worse or perhaps fulfill orders that he cannot refuse. But what will be the outcome of this story? There are some possibilities for what can happen below. Diddy can try an agreement with the authorities. If he is really afraid of something or someone, it may be a time when he decides to open the game. But if he knows too much, it can put it in an even more dangerous position. He may be negotiating protection. If this dark figure is someone who operates within the system, maybe Diddy is trying to ensure that he will not be a target within prison. But this kind of protection never comes without a price. It may end up silenced. If there is explosive information behind this visit, Diddy may be dealing with a real danger. Many who knew too much have ended up having tragic destinations, and the history of the music industry is full of examples of this. The truth can leak. Despite the high level of confidentiality, more details can end up surfaced, whether through a whistleblower, a media slip, or even an error within the prison system itself. What is clear is that Diddy is not just dealing with a common criminal sentence. He is in the midst of something much bigger, something that may involve powerful figures who want to ensure that certain secrets never see the light of day. Whatever the way he chooses, one thing is certain. P. Diddy that the world knew no longer exists. Now he is fighting for something much more than his freedom, perhaps for his own survival.